Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to load up the trailer here. We went and took the ATV in. We got it fixed. I mentioned quite a few videos ago. I think it was actually last summer that there was some issues with the transmission on this. It was kind of skipping gears and so forth. So I took it in and had it looked at. Probably cost more money than I wanted to spend on it, but I went ahead and had it done anyways. And it ended up being the clutch. Both of the clutches inside of it were just wore out, so they had to be replaced. And they would, they changed the oil for me too, so I don't have to worry about changing the oil this year. But it's all ready to go now. So I got it back, and so got it loaded on the trailer here. Going to be taking it up north, and then I also want to load up these pieces of cabinet countertops that I've got out here that are going to be repurposed. So I'm going to take them up north. Not exactly sure what I'll be repurposing them for at this point, but I'm going to at least take them up north and get them out of the garage here at the house. Man, these things are heavy. At least this big one is. This is kind of like a center island countertop. I'm going to scratch it up if I do it that way, I think. So I'm going to flip it around if I can get it in here without hurting myself or the countertop. This one is where the sink was. So that's one half. Sink was there in the middle of it. This is the other one that was the other part of the sink. And then this small one that was part of just the other side of the counter. So I'll put a small strap on those to strap those down. The other thing I want to do before I head up north is I want to put a spare tire carrier on the trailer. We've had this trailer for quite a while, but never really had a spare tire. So I bought a spare tire a while ago. I've been kind of just carting in the back of the truck, but I was going to mount the carrier here. So I looked online. I wasn't really impressed with the welds and stuff on them when I looked at them, so I went and picked this one up from the local tractor supply store. It's made by Reese, but actually it's made by Fulton if I look at the instructions, and that's kind of what I looked online. I think I'm going to like this Fulton brand. It is made in China like the ones you see online, but you can just see the welds on this are just so much better. And so I'm more impressed with this than the ones I saw online that you can buy off like Amazon. I'm afraid of going on the road and having the welds break off and the tire go flying across the road and possibly hurting someone. So we're going to hook this up too. Shouldn't be too difficult. There's a 9/16 bolts we're going to have to use over there, and then there's some 3/4 bolts that we'll use to hold the actual spare tire onto it. Basically you bolt on through this and then put a washer and a nut on the other side of it. Should hook right all up. Shouldn't be very difficult to do. So I've got this trailer made by Caravan, and I was trying to look at the spots that I want to hook it up. I thought about maybe hooking it here on this bracket here, but I think even a better spot's going to be up here on the tongue of it. Hooking it right here, I think there'll still be enough space to turn with no problems. So I'm going to hook it right here loosely, then kind of see where the tire sits on it, and then once that's done, then I can tighten it all up. So my plan is to put it right here on the tongue. So I've already got the bolts kind of set in there where I think I need them. I'm going to just kind of put it on here loosely right now and not tighten it up because I'm going to need to move it, back and forth. Probably a little bit that way to see where I need to put the spare tire on it. So that's the bolt. That bracket goes on there, and you're going to put wash on it, and then a bolt. Same thing on the bottom, washer, bolt, or nut I should say on the bolt. Same thing here, you put on the bracket. Put on the washer. put on the bolts. That nut doesn't want to go on there as nice as the other ones. And you got the bottom one down here too. Put the washer on it. Put the nut on that. So now that it's loosely on here, I can kind of move it back and forth. Or maybe I can. Maybe I tightened it already too much. Loosen these up a little. There we go. Now to slide back and forth to wherever I need it to be. So that's what I want to do, and I just want to see where the spare tire hooks up to it to make sure where I need it before I tighten it up. So next thing to do is put the bolts in this bracket here. I'm going to put one here and one there, is what it says to do for a 5-hole wheel that we have on this trailer. If it was a 4-hole, you'd go the middle and the bottom. So you put the bolt on there, you put a lock washer on there, which I'm having a hard time doing one-handed here, and you put a regular washer on top of that, and then you put a lock washer on, and then finally the nut that goes on the end of it. I'm going to put those on there, secure those tight, and then we'll see kind of where we want to adjust it, where we put the tire on it. So with that on there, spare tire will go here, and that's just about where I need it. I'll let that kind of hang there. That's just about where I need it on the trailer. Want a little bit of space between the tire and the trailer, so I'm going to move this forward just a little bit after I take the tire back off, but that's pretty much where I need it. I'll move it over maybe a ½ an inch, tighten it up. These bolts are all 9/16. Let's get it hand tight for now. I'm going to get another wrench to tighten them all the way down. Well, that was tightening up all the way. And that one is too. I suppose if you wanted to, you could put some Loctite on these too. Keep the bolts on there. I think I might add a second set of bolts and nuts to it too, just to keep it, to make sure it's not going to work its way back off. Maybe I'll get another wrench to hold the front end of this. Now I've got a wrench I can put on here to hold it. Yeah, I think a second nut on here would be a good safety piece to add to it. So I will get another second bolt to add on here. 9/16 bolt, or nut I mean. Just to keep these from backing off. Be extra safe. We don't want the bracket moving on us or coming off when we're going down the road. That'd be really bad. So if I put, second bolts or nuts here, that'll definitely hold those in place. It's pretty solid as it is. So there is the bracket on there without the spare tire on it. We're going to mount the spare tire on it next. Let's put the second bolt in here on the bottom. Bracket on there and the washer. And then we can mount the tire on there and tighten it up. So let's get the tire on here. Lock washer on there, and let's get the bolt on it, or the nut. This is a 3/4 like I said. On there, not super tight yet. I'm gonna get this other one here first. Put the lock washer and the nut on. Let's tighten this one up. And it says to tighten these to 45 foot-pounds. Spares on there nice and solid. So we got these bolts on here nice and tight. It says 45 foot-pounds in the instructions. There are carriage bolts that go in from the back here. And then here's the bracket that's all tightened up. I'm going to go over that with the 9/16 ratchet one more time to tighten it a little bit more. And then I think I said I'm going to buy some extra nuts to put on this, or see if I have any 9/16 nuts to put on there. All right, there we go. Spare tires on. That way if we have a flat while we're going down the road, we got our spare to go with it. We'll be trying it out tomorrow morning, like I said, after I got the other stuff loaded on. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Be sure to like this video, give me some comments, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We'd love to have you, and we'll see you guys next time.